And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Banished. All right, we need more food. Desperately need more food. So we need to start growing crops. I have an orchard. That's good. But I want to start growing crops. And let's do another 13 by 13. And this one is going to be wheat. We have lots of people just running around here, so it should be a pretty fast process. How much stone do we have left? 51, and how much do we need for the doctor? We need 78, so we're going to need to gather some more of this stone that's around here. So this is going to be another 3. And this is going to be wheat. Just in time for the planting season. Still rocking the ale. See, our food really started going down. Our wheat is gone altogether. And as far as travel goes, I'm not going to go overboard with the roads until we get a quarry, and the quarry is a long way off because we just do not have the population to support the quarry. I'm going to go for the achievements. There's some achievements in this game. It must have reset them from the last time I played, and because it was on a different hard drive, so I'm on a different install right now. But some of these are like this one: maintain 2 quarries with 30 workers each for 3 years. So that's 60 workers for that, and 2 mines with 30 workers each. So that's another 60. So those two are tough. I don't think I've ever gotten either one of those. So I definitely want to try to get both of those in this playthrough. I'm going to probably get all of these because our city is going to be very large. Stock the trading post. This is very doable. Later in the game we'll have so much to do that we'll be able to get that. Use trading post to trade. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get that. So again, we'll be able to do that pretty well. How many people do we have right now? So we have 46, only 46 people, and we have 10 students and 18 children. So we have a lot of kids right now. So we want to be ready for that. Again, I'm not going overboard with the number of workers and the worker buildings because our population is getting pretty old. The one thing I do want to put in to prepare for an aging population is a cemetery. And a cemetery is kind of a land hog, if you will. And let's see, a cemetery along here would be okay. It's going to need 42 stone. What is my line again with this? So right about here is the line, so I can kind of get into there. So let's get into there and build a cemetery. Don't want to do that, so let's build it like 10 by 10. Something like this. So we're getting good yield on those starting out. This yield is going to have to catch up. Some of those workers to work. So, yeah, 12 farmers all told. So I'm going to want I do want a road coming into the back of these, just to get people out here faster. eventually this is going to be a main road right through here with multiple lanes for people to walk in, because people who are pushing carts and stuff are a lot slower, and so if you have just one path, it kind of slows everybody behind them down, and if you have multiple paths, they're able to pass each other. So I like having my main streets be wider than just one square. Plus, it makes it look really cool to have, really bustling, busy streets. So we got 70%, 53%. Yeah, no more pears. We do have a little bit of excess ale, and our cemetery is done. Can hold 24 graves, and the graves do eventually kind of degrade over a long period of time, and so but as your population grows, you're going to need bigger and bigger cemeteries. If somebody dies and you don't have any cemeteries, here's the thing: if somebody dies and you don't have any cemeteries, and the person isn't buried somewhere that their family can go visit, they actually lose a ton of happiness, and they are less productive workers and all of that stuff. So you want to make sure that you have a cemetery ready to go before you find yourself in a problem situation. So we are in summer. We're going to get a good crop this year. I want to increase fishers to one more because I do not want to run out of food. So we got just a little bit of food in there and no food in there. So that is a problem. How are we doing on stone? We have very little stone. So the next winter cycle, when all my farmers and all my laborers are basically without anything to do, that's when I kickstart a big gathering job. So I can gather a whole bunch of stuff really, really easily during that time. So it looks like our peppers are going to be 100%. It looks like we are going to be close to that on these two wheats. Yep, there we go. There's the 100% there. There's the 100% there. This wheat probably didn't get the farmers in right away, so that wheat might not make it to 100% by early autumn. And our pears are not stellar. We could put another orchard right beside here and just keep growing it. These loggers really sort of halt production in a direction because they need that land. They need that land open. So what is your production? So previous season, so you were able to get quite a lot. You don't want to build too many huntings, and you don't want to build too many fish, because you can over harvest. You can over harvest fish and you can over harvest deer, and it'll significantly drop the amount that you're getting out of it. All right, so this one pretty much is going to be 100%. These got perfect 500. This one got 700 somehow. But this one looks like it actually hit 100% as well. So it looks like we're going to get a bumper crop again this year, which is really good because we were low on food. And now we're getting some pears going. We got some good peppers. 1,204 pepper. And we needed all of this wheat. This is a really good amount of wheat. And the other buildings I kind of wanted to see with this added mod is you have a bakery and you have a mill. So windmill. So this makes flour from grain, and then your bakery makes bread. So you can actually feed your people. Instead of just raw wheat, you can actually give them bread, which is more nutritious. So yeah, we got a good amount of pears out of that this year, which is great for our ale production. So if we look at food, here's from this point to this point was our last harvest. And this harvest went from this point to this point. So you can see that our harvest was almost twice as much this year as it was last year. So this peak is higher than this peak by a little bit, which means we actually have more food coming in than we did last year. So before you want to make sure that trend continues before you build too many people or too many houses, in order to make sure you have enough food for everybody. It's very, very easy. We had somebody die. We had Dorothy, the laborer, died of old age. So that is unfortunate. I don't know how old they were, but not sure. And if this person dies, it frees up this house and two people automatically move in. If there's a pair, two people move in. If there's not a pair, then just one person moves in that's of age. So as the older people die, they free up the houses, and the new people take over the house and start reproducing. What you want to be careful of is, depending on how old the people are who move in, you may not have many childbirthing years ahead of you to create more people. So if two people move into the house only have one kid, that's a net loss on that house. It's a net loss of population. Two people make only one. So you want to make sure they move in young enough to give them ample time to reproduce, which is a good thing. These two people, I don't think, ever had a kid. So, two lone guys, never had a kid, which is unfortunate. All right, so now that it's winter, let's see if I can, I'm going to clear these out. Because we need some resources. So let's gather some stone. Is there any more stone in here? Okay. We have so much iron on the ground. But all that stone will come into here. I really want the logs to really focus on here. This is a general storage, general stockpile. This is a wood stockpile. So, I could have destroyed this early game. I could have gotten rid of it, but I didn't. So that will fill up with stone, and there's a little bit of a stone area down over here that they can use. Want to get some stone for future buildings, and lots of stone there. Want to make sure there's ample space for firewood as well. That's one of those resources you really don't want to run out of. So now that job is done, we're getting back into early spring, which is the planting season. And we have a late freeze. See this early spring, late freeze? That just delays people just a little bit, enough to make a difference in the harvest season. So I want to really watch my food. I didn't grow it all this last year. So I want to really watch my food to make sure I don't I don't collapse my system here, because that would be bad. So how much food do we have left? We got lots of wheat. Pears, again, pears are just, it's crazy how much alcohol the civilization consumes. It's a lot. But now that we have a bunch of stone, I can build a doctor's office. So who's in the brewery? Who's living in my brewery? 2 farmers. How many students do we have? Well, we have a teacher living above the school, which is awesome. And we have a 21-year-old farmer living with them. So we've got some people that can actually move out of their house. They don't have anywhere to live. We have 22 laborers. Let's clear some space. Get these fields planted. Get the wood in there. So I'm gonna want a doctor's office in here. You really need a hospital, otherwise things can go bad very quickly. Especially now that we have a town hall, we can actually get nomads coming in here and giving us some diseases. I've come to like not ever allow nomads in, just because you're pretty much guaranteed to get a disease if you bring a nomad in. So I try to avoid that unless I can really support it. Because also it's a huge influx of uneducated people. So if you work early on getting a lot of educated people, you bring nomads in, and then suddenly you have 50 more people in your village, but none of them are educated. And it's a serious problem, because they enter your workforce, they lower your productivity, and so on and so on. And so it can really hurt your city bringing nomads in. So only do it if you really, really need the people. Or if you're just feeling, humanitarian and you want to bring them in. So, that's always a possibility too. So next episode, I really want to try this bakery and grinding mill thing down. So I really want to see how that works, how efficient it is, how many people there are, and how many people it feeds, and all that kind of stuff, what the ratios are. So now we have a doctor. People can go there to get medicine if they want it. So I thank you for watching. We just had another death. So I will see you next time.